Good morning, Michael Green here at West Coast British in Livermore, California. We're working on a 1965 88-inch Land Rover that we restored some years ago. And we've got an issue with first gear on the lay shaft, going click, click, click. And that was evidence once we drained the oil and found one of the tooth off of first gear laying in the bottom of the gearbox drain plug. So we're in the process of taking the seat box out, which we've already done. More in a minute. All right, here we are with the Land Rover. We've got the seat box already out, and we're undoing the front drive shaft only from the transfer case. Then we'll remove the rear one. And this thing's fairly tidy, as you can see. And yes, those are aluminum fuel tanks. Probably the best replacements on the market. We put two in this one years ago when we did the restoration. So this car is quite spotless inside. And we'll do a YouTube walk around on this one later. So we'll just cruise on over here so you can see. See, this one's pretty. So anyway, here's the seat box. You have to get this out. It's kind of a nuisance. But we'll get it all wiped down and get it back in. Handbrake had to come out, and we'll show you when we get the gearbox ready to go. Okay, well, you missed that part. I don't know where you were, but the gearbox is out. And it wasn't too bad, but this has got a later engine in it, as you can see, and it's freaking 10 millimeter instead of 3/8, which created a problem because somebody had put 3/8 flat washers on. When you did them up, they pinned. So here's the gearbox. We have it out. You must have gone to lunch when we were doing it. And it's a bit gooey, so we're going to take it outside and give it a wash. And then we'll tune back in as we get the bell housing off and repair it. And then you can see that, okay? So we'll see you back here in a minute. Hi there, Michael Green here from West Coast British, and well, as you can see, we got that gearbox out that we were talking about, and it was such fun and games with limited personnel here. We couldn't have anybody filming. So anyway, we got the gearbox out, we gave it a quick wash, and we're gonna take the front off. So we'll give you a quick idea what we're doing. The big fun was here a minute ago. Where did that pin go we had? Oh, I see it. We had to take this pin out. And as you can see, I got a Band-Aid. So that's what happens when you poke cutter keys through your fingers. So we got that out. That has to be taken out on the right-hand side over here. And I'll show it to you as soon as I get this piece knocked out of here. So we're going to take out the throw-off housing. Well, attempt to use the screw to get it out of the socket. There you go. Now, this thing's gooey. Where's our green glue cap? All right, now, believe it or not, most of this gearbox is British standard, meaning that's what the bolts are, right? And we'll give you a quickie lesson on that. I got to get a couple of tools here. I sadly forgot. Oh, here it is. This nasty thing. Okay, we're going to get this. And now we're going to take these off. Now, those are quarter. These are 5/16 British standard. See, it's not 1/2 inch. It's a 5/16 bolt. Excuse me, 5/16 stud, but it's English, so it's got a different thread per inch than American. But it also takes a different socket. We'll get all this stuff out of here, and then we'll get it washed. So, put some blood in there with it. Okay. Then you put this in here, give it a shove. Almost. Ta-da! Paper gaskets. Had it. Oh. Yuck. Okay, so let's get a run around. Chicken head cut off. So we're going to put the dirty stuff in the pan so we can clean it. Put that over there. Whoa. Now if you look in yonder here, I don't know if you can see in there, there's a big cotter key here. Turn that like that. And then we can knock that cotter key out. In the meantime, you have to take the gear lever off. This is 1/4-20, because the British and the Americans both use 1/4-20 in aluminum, which is coarse thread. And you can use an American wrench because we put American bolts in it, okay? All the rest of the stuff on this is English. Now, guys are wondering, why you got these fittings up here and what are they for? Well, I sealed the old vent and I've got a hose that goes up to the engine bay to suck the pressure out of the gearbox, which helps them stop it from, where they don't leak oil, because they usually leak because of the pressure buildup. Gear lever's off. That easy. Okay, now, fun stuff again. Now, we've got to go in here. These are the detents. You don't want to mix these up. There's 3 springs. One top, one right, one left. Here comes out, see? So we're going to put these ones over here so you know where they came from. There's a spring. See the spring diameter, there's 2 that are this diameter and then one that's heavy duty. The heavy duty one is on reverse gear, so it's on the other side. And if you're not sure, you can always look in a Land Rover parts book and you'll see that 2 are the same part numbers, one's a different number. Whoops. Geez, that new Band-Aid's already a mess. The difference of the spring, it's a tighter wind, it's a little thicker wire than the other. So that one's reverse, right? See, this is reverse fork. So when you pull the lever over and current that way, it pushes this way. So that's the detent on the reverse side, is on the right side of the box. So there's a little ball in there. See if we can get it out. Ta-da! See? You don't want to lose. There's 3 of them. They're all the same. Now, what we need to do is get the brass plug out of the middle. That's the one that's a pain in the neck. The reason being is because it's so thin. Let me go get an English socket. I think it's that that, ain't it? Nope. This one's got an American one in it, so it must be a late number. So, one of these. There you go. Okay. Never use air guns on this stuff. It's all aluminum. Queen. There's your other spring right there. So that and that are the same. You want to catch these now, because the last thing you want to do is get this apart and find out it's all rolling around down inside the gearbox, okay? Okay, so now we need some English wrenches. These are 5/16 English as well. If you have an overdrive after a particular date, like 78, these will be metric. So they're really driving goofy. For some reason, the British decided they had to go on the metric system. As you can remember, in America, we all said we were going to and never did it. Okay, now we'll take a screwdriver, a rubber hammer. This will work because you can put this in here and crack that loose a bit. There we go. Okay, and where's my English socket? I know we had it out because we used it earlier. Well, must put it away. No. Damn it. Missing my English socket. Is it in the car? I'm missing an English socket somewhere. Might be down here on the floor, I just don't know it.
Right here?
Huh?
Right here? To your left.
Oh. Yep, that's it. Now I need a rubber hammer. Now, just make sure that's free. Yep. That's free. Yep, it goes. Okay. Ta-da! Okay, in here there's two more rollers, and you can see them right there. Do not lose them. meaning don't let them go down in there. So take these out right now. And they go down and live in the cardboard. Okay, so people always get, how do I get these out? Like this, see? You always take the reverse gear out, fork out first. And then we're gonna look at it. You can see where it's been dragging, see? We're gonna have to face that or weld it, one of the two. Weld it and reface it probably. Let me get another box of goodies. Now, if this was a Series 3, you would have had a lot of trouble getting that fork out of there because it's a real nuisance. So then, pull that one forward, wiggle, wiggle, it's out. See, just like that. Put it in the box. This one needs to come back. Hang on. There it goes. That runs off the synchro hub for 3rd and 4th gear. It's out. That simple. If you want to take a peek in there with the camera. Right, there she is. You can see the, whoops. That's the distance sleeve right there. So this is a 2nd and 3rd gear run on that sleeve. Okay, now we're going to get the front off. Need a big gun. One of these. What do they do with the big gun? Oh, I see. Now, one of these is a stud. This one here, the rest are bolts. 2 of the bolts sit this way. So this one and this one have heavy shanks, and that's what aligns and squares the bell housing to the gearbox casing. So don't mix them up. You'll see what I got to drive about. Yeah, shut it. Now, I'm going to be a bit crazy here real quick. I've got to get that cotter key out before I get any further. Don't do this with your fingers like I did earlier. I gotta get a punch, a hammer, big stuff. Ta-da, that easy, okay? Now I gotta go find what socket it was, because I don't remember. Yeah. Put the Land Rovers drawer here. Hey, that one? Don't remember. Too long. Ah, look at that. First time. Don't damage the thread when you do that. You'll hit it in the center. Last one. We are there. Whew. Go find the gear lever. Thing with washers today, huh? Yay. Ow, dum-dum. I forgot. Remember, I haven't done this for a while now. What is that? ½ inch. The low range lever bolt. Oh, hang on. What do you got over here? Okay, that bolt is not English. It's American 5/16 because this is just what they did at this point in time for whatever reason. Hence, I had to go get different wrenches. Almost. It's got a nylock on it. Damn it. Got it. Okay, that lock can stay down there. Just like that. That's the only thing that's holding the belt housing on. And that the gear on the shaft inside's got to come off. Big. Fell off my block of wood. Damn. Oh. No, I guess it is what it is. We're out. Oh yeah, that's a bugger. Look at that. Well, that's what I wanted anyway. This goes back there. It sits on the main shaft. Brass hammer. Use hand. Bingo, got it. Boy, oh boy. What a mess. What a mess. This, people always ask where it comes from, which way it goes. This is which way it goes, just like that on the front. When I go to put it all back together, you'll see how big of a nuisance it really is. There's the tooth, right there. There's the broken tooth. Right there. Look at that one's beat up too. Crazy. And that's the only reason this is apart, because of that. So. All right, well, we're gonna go get this cleaned up and we'll see you again in the next video. Hi there, Michael Green here again with this 1965 88-inch Land Rover gearbox job. So in our last episode, you missed all the fun and games, but it's all back in already, see? So we'll have some more in a moment. All right, so we've got the gearbox back in. We're going like crazy. Been working on it since 11 this morning. We stopped for 45 minutes for lunch. It's 10 after 3. So we haven't done too bad. Got it all back in. There's a trick to the trade when you're doing this. These engines come with studs right here on the bell housing. Take the damn studs out and you put bolts in, because otherwise you'll never get that thing lined up easily when you're trying to fight the whole thing at once. If I'm doing a restoration or an overhaul on a gearbox, what I'll do is I'll put the gearbox in by hand, because it's light enough to pick it up and carry it, stand in there and jam it in and get all the nuts on, piece of cake, and then put the transfer case on, put the intermediate on, put the handbrake on, etc. Piece of cake. But when you're trying to put this thing in a whole unit, and being there was only 2 of us, we didn't have anybody to film, you get where we're going here. So we're gonna motor over to the bench here. And I had diagnosed this with a broken tooth, so let's zoom right in, see? Tooth is missing right there. And it, try to get this thing to focus, there we go, look at that. So we changed the lay shaft, we changed the first gear and the bearing. And you can do this just, if you're tricky like I am, just by getting the bell housing off. So that's what we've done. So now we've got all this, as my father would call it, monkey motion, we have to put back in. So we got to put the seat box in, all the strip caulking, otherwise called dum-dum. We got to reuse that to some degree. Most of it looks like it's dried out, so we're going to have to scrape it off real quick. Drill a couple of rivets out, and we'll be back to you once we get it back in, okay? Like, subscribe, tell your friends, yada, yada, yada. Bye-bye. Hi there. It's 6:15 p.m. Tuesday night, and we've just finished it. I've driven it around the block. We didn't have time to video the whole thing, you know, unless I get some pretty lady who wants to be a camera lady. But, see, seat box is in, floors are bolted in, and this thing is a high-end restoration. This thing is perfect. I didn't realize we built this in 2011 is when we finished it. And as you can see, it's a pretty car. Look what's up there, see? Right? Let's see if we can get a decent picture in here with this camera. There you go, right? So all the floors are back in, gearbox is back in. She's all buttoned up. I just got to put the handbrake boot in and put the trim over the tunnel and the floor mats in, and she'll be ready to go. I took this thing for a ride earlier. Just drove it around the parking lot real quick. Say, this is a 88-inch hardtop. And my customer had found it in Oregon and had a hard time driving it down here because it kept dying, because it had something rotten in the fuel system, and the hose was degraded to such a degree that it was falling apart inside. So I'm gonna open the door here. I'm by myself doing this, so excuse all the hands and nonsense, but it's just the way it is. All right, oop. Okay. It's got an early Kodiak in it, and we've messed with the hoses a bit, rebuilt all the heat motors, wiper motors. Tropical roof. No, it's not called a safari roof, people. God, it drives me crazy when I hear people say, oh, it's got a safari roof. There's no such thing. It's a tropical roof. And that's what it was designed for, see? The air goes between the panel, fore to aft, out the back, and that drops the temperature of the roof. You open the vents inside, see them? And air comes screaming in. It's lovely. This is an 88-inch station wagon roof because it has the Alpine windows in it. You could order the tropical roof. There you go. Without the windows. Just depends whatever you wanted in those days. You could have got it with a door, but this was life as a truck. And by that, it has a tailgate with a flap, or you take a roof off, you can put a truck cab on it. Anyway, we're gonna head for the barn. It's dinner time and beer time. I think when Todd says it's 006 beer time, or however he says it. So, anyway, we'll give you a quick glance of the front, and we'll take a peek. Okay. Well, we had a phone call a minute ago. Kind of funny, but we have a client that wants, are you ready? 23 Land Rovers for an event. And I don't mean anything Land Rovers. I mean series 2s and 3s. And I think he's going to get a few Defenders because that's what we're going to give him. And I'm going to give you a little treat right now. So hang on to your... Oh, look at this. Here's all my stuff from when I worked at Range Rover, right? Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And some more cool pictures up on the Black Rock in 1977. And that's going to Canada in 1979. And this Land Rover that my dad was in charge, built for Shell Oil for the exploration of Alaskan Pipeline in 1964. And that's the goldenrod. That's the first ever V8 Land Rover. And that picture's in Dublin, California, September 65. Another Land Rover. Oh, it's me. Hey. God, all kinds of cool stuff, right? So we're going to zip next door real quick. And you can just kind of hook along for the ride. 88 inch, so we just finishing up. Anybody wants to buy a 109, call me. It has a 292 Chevy in it. I won't show you the keys or the alarms or anything like that, so you have to stare at blue paint, okay? Hang on. Hard to do this one-handed with a camera in your hand. Ta-da! All right, you ready? Okay, I'm just gonna cruise in here because there's all kinds of stuff in here and there's cool Land Rover stuff. And how many of you can say that you were in Playboy, right? I can. Is that cool or what? And way out in the desert during Nevada Trophy. Dun, 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 dun. Over in the museum in Danville when they got the new African elephant, needed Land Rovers. And then the Rover 3500S V8 show engine from 1969 that used to sit in my father's service school. I'm just kind of baiting you here a bit. Okay, all kinds of cool stuff. This is a 107 that we acquired a while back. We bought it from the original owner who bought it new in 1957 in San Francisco. It was one of 2 cars. And a billboard that we found in Nevada. It took us 2 hours to get it out of the frame to drag it home, okay? So you want to really see the surprise? You ready? You ready? And you won't find a better one of these on the planet. Dun, dun, dun. I go out on the highway in this thing, and I've had girls, I kid you not, come up alongside in Jeeps and Toyotas wanting me to stop so they can see it and they can get in it. And it's like girls are in candy store. It's hysterical. So is this thing cool or what? So we're just going to leave it at that. And... right? So it's what they call a gun tractor. And I'll give you a quickie inside. We'll do a big walk around on it later and take you for a ride. Tell your friends, this is the coolest one on the planet. Factory even said so. This thing's been down to every last nut and bolt. And there's a bad saying in the Army, right? If you're a G.I. Joe, you know what it is. If it moves, salute it. If it don't, paint it. Right? And it was pretty terrible. So then you got an MGB GT FIA coupe, right-hand drive. We'll do something on that. Then the monster here, 63 Fuelie. I'll be racing that at Velocity Invitational, in June. A 1965 MGB race car. I broke it at Thunder Hill in November 2004. It was really flying, but I burned the piston. So shit happens. And lots of old Land Rover posters, right? Of the engines. This is all stuff friends used to send from the factory. I mean, look at this, right? You send me the press kits. Some of this stuff is way old. This is 1970 that. This is my favorite. Look at this, right? And it goes on and on and on and on. So, how many of you guys know who the Dalai Lama is, right? Well, I'm the Holy Land Rover shop because that is the Dalai Lama's Land Rover. See? And I restored it. So we're the Holy Land Rover shop, you know? Yes, we are. They shipped it from India. Took 2 years to get it here. Here it is at the British Car Meet 2006 in Palo Alto. We got an award for Best Restoration in Progress. Our 109 and our 7388. My dad, that's Baja 1965 in the Mexican Land Rover. This is chassis number 140 NADA car. First Land Rover ever allowed at an SCCA sanctioned Concours d'Elegance. Won its class with 100 points out of 100 points. Look at that. That's my NADA station wagon. This is near Golconda, Nevada in February 2008. Goldenrod, Sea Cortez to 109. Best 80-inch on the planet, even the factory said so. 63 80-inch with a 200 TDI we built years ago on Nevada Trophy. My Land Rover. 110 on Nevada Trophy. More Nevada Trophy. Right? See the fun you guys miss? You need to come out and play with us. Right? Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. Right? Oh, here's me. We're on an 8C Alfa Romeo Grand Prix car. How about TR8 rally cars? Or MGB race cars? More race cars. I got won 2 races in one day. Pissed everybody off. If you watch Ford versus Ferrari, well, the young man in the middle is Derek Hill, Phil Hill's son. I've known Phil since 1958. That's my mother on the right. And she was the secretary of the racing department at Aston Martin Racing in England from January 49 until she immigrated to America in August 56. My dad was a race mechanic at Aston Martins. Here he is. My dad hired Ken Miles in 1955 to drive at Le Mans in the MGs. And Ken convinced my dad to come to America. Here's Dad putting out the fire on the DB3 at Goodwood. My Land Rover with DB3S 113 on the back. Oh, look at this. The masked man, Stig, in our MG at Monterey, getting strapped in, ready to go. Anyway, we'll give you a quick tour on another day. I'm beat and I want to go home, okay? So hope you guys like what you see. Tell your friends. This weekend, which will be the 22nd of March, we have an off-road experience class. We'll meet in Reno, and we don't care what kind of four-wheel drive you have. Bring it. www.offroadexperience.com, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.